Our third speaker, Mark Kolke. How did they fake that? How did they fake that? Mark Kolke.
When we start life, when we have that first birthday, what do we know about life? We're just little babies. And then later we become toddlers and we move along through life, and our opinions and views of life are formed by whom? The house we live in, the parents we have, and in my case, the radio. That was it. I had no siblings, only my parents. So they formed me, and I get to blame them. But the thing that happened to me in our neighborhood as I got to be 2 and 3 and 4 years old is I got to play with the kids in the neighborhood. And that was great. Because in those days, in the 50s, so many families had lots of kids. So there were lots of kids to play with. And I would go to their house and we'd play and we'd have so much fun. One down the street had a TV, but otherwise it was just like my house, except it wasn't like my house. And sometimes I get invited for dinner or to sleep over, and I would get to see these kids in action with their family. And particularly the parents, how they treated each other and how they treated their kids. And then I would go home to my house and things were different. And I wasn't sure what it was, because I was this high, and I didn't really understand life. So you start trying to figure things out with the intelligence and learning you have. Couldn't figure it out. Then along would come another birthday. And I have an August 7th birthday, so it's always in the summertime. So we had these big backyard birthday parties with all the kids in the neighborhood. And there'd be a picture in the family album, a chair with my birthday cake and me in my t-shirt and shorts, and this big whack of kids behind me. And I have all of those up to the age of 5. And some things started to change that year. A lot of things happened. My grandfather died, but nobody told me. And I didn't get to go to the funeral. I didn't understand that. My grandmother then came to live with us, and we had to move houses from this neighborhood with all these kids to another neighborhood I didn't know with fewer kids. My world was changing. Oh, and my dad was in an accident. He was burned at work and spent months in the hospital, and he was near death, but nobody told me. He recovered at home. Oh, yeah, and that's the year he got AA, because my dad's an alcoholic. And he got AA, and along with that, my mom got Al-Anon. And again, nobody told me. Nobody explained it, because I'm 5, right? And what do you explain to a 5-year-old about things like that? And how does a 5-year-old see all of this? You try to figure it out. I must be adopted. I don't know what was going on. But there were no more birthday parties. And there wasn't a lot of fun. And there weren't a lot of kids to play with. But I tried to make the best of it. My 6th birthday was coming up. What do you want for your birthday? And it should have been, Mark, what do you want for your birthday? But when there's no other kids, you're at the dinner table, your parents look at you and start talking. They're talking to you. I want a bike. I want a 2-wheeler. Like all the other 6-year-olds. But of course, parents of an only child don't want to spoil the child. And my parents didn't want to spoil me. They told me they didn't want to spoil me. So I would have to wait. In fact, we made a deal that I would save money to pay for a third of the bike next year. So as my 7th birthday was approaching, the inevitable question, what do you want for your birthday? A bike! No, we know that. We've been to the store, we know what color to buy and so on, but what else do you want? I want a wallet. A wallet? Why a wallet? To put my money in. Okay. The inevitable day comes. It's August 7th, 1958, my 7th birthday. My mom, my dad, my grandmother, and me, and a cake, a bike in the backyard with a bow on the handlebar, and a wrapped package on the table. So after dinner and cake and candles, I get to rip open the package. And I run, not to my bike in the backyard, but to my room. Put my money in my wallet. Fold it, put it in my back pocket, and come back into the kitchen and say, I want my birth certificate. Why would you want your birth certificate? Identification to put in my wallet. But you'll lose it. No, I won't. But you'll lose it. No, I won't. This went on for quite some time, and there were tears. And it wasn't just my grandmother's tears. It was not a joyous birthday. Yes, I rode my bike that night. I spent some time in the neighborhood. And then I'm in bed. My dad comes in to console me about 9 o'clock. My parents never came in to console me. If anyone did, it would be my grandmother. She was so sweet. My dad came into my bedroom and he handed me something called my birth certificate. Never lost it, by the way. Province of Saskatchewan. August 7th, 1951, my birthday. And my name on it. And the first thought I had was, how'd they fake that? How did they fake this bloody birth certificate? Why? Why did I have those feelings at 7? I was just a child in an ordinary family with an only child, a recovered alcoholic father, a codependent mother. But it wasn't the 80s yet. They hadn't written about codependency. We didn't know that. That condition hadn't been invented yet. But it was our life. So what's the lesson I've learned as a parent and now as a grandparent about how children see the world? Their eyes are bigger than, their eyesight's better than ours. And their hearing is certainly better. So they see and hear how their parents parent, how life is lived in their house. And if it's different than the other houses down the street, they'll notice. We need to pay attention to these little ones. And if you don't have little children, maybe you'll have little grandchildren, or maybe even big ones. Tell them the truth. Mr. Toastmaster.